this is me, MVT Sky, and it's a daily read for Taurus, and today is the 22nd, right? So this brings us into this nice master builder's number of the 22 and 4. Alrighty, so let's see what Saturn is talking about. Paying attention to the house of Capricorn here for Taurus. The high frequency is talking about Uranus and Neptune, medium and Mars, and the lows and Pluto. If you've ever seen any previous readings, understand that's not saying that people who have dominance in Pluto or who Scorpio are low frequency. It just pops out in the low frequency. So let's see what Saturn is talking about today. Alrighty. Oh, well, look at that. Authority. Alright. So we have this discussion of authority. Capricorn also discusses the elders, the authorities. When you're in this Mars energy, that also can be a discussion of authority. And when authority is being brought forth, Tauruses, you're taking authority, building, creating in the foundation, being responsible, right? Being stern and strict on your concepts and what you want to do, which goes perfectly fine with the master's building number, this 22 and 4. This comes down in the 4. So this makes good sense right here. So let's see what else the master builder. So you might want to take some authority and some structuring in the house of Capricorn, Taurus. So let's see what's going on over here. This 22 and 4. Maybe it can give you a kind of good idea of where you should be master building or focusing on master building in this Taurus energy. And you know, when you talk about Taurus, you also talk about your finances and your possessions and things of that nature. That's the house to discuss. So it says deception and envy. Listen, there has to be in this Taurus energy, okay, if you are master building, if you're in this 22 and 4 right now and you got it all together and structured and you've taken authority already, in your 10th house, you know, be mindful of deceptive and envious vibrations, okay? And this is probably also why this 7 comes up, this Uranus and Neptune energy, because it does speak about friends and social circles. It does also speak about things that's happening in secret and behind one's back, right? So let's see what else pops up in this Uranus and Neptune energy. And the thing that's interesting is this comes down in the 7, right? So we're going to pay attention to the 7. Alright, let's see what's going on in the high frequency. So you got this sun energy, you have the wheel, and you have the chariot. Alright, so this is letting you know that this is major events. This 22 and 4, this is that master building. There's motion in the ethers, okay? Things that's going to become clear, okay? The things that one may envy Taurus is happiness and bliss and fortune and ability to move forward and have control. These are the things that may become revealed to some Taurus that really got it together right now. People who have Taurus in their chart who really got the master building. The deception and envy may come from the people that you are around, your social circles, your friends, your things like that. Even, you know, places maybe dealing with work environments, institutions, people that work within institutions. Pay attention to this high frequency. Now, Taurus, when you're in the high frequency, understand that you don't want the sun to be blinding, right? Understand that the wheel of fortune is coming up, right? This is good luck, right? This is also talking about your Sagittarius house, your Leo house, and your Cancer house also. So you have these 2 fire elements up here. Make sure that you stay in the highest frequency so that you can get a clear view of what's going on and stay within your wheel of fortune and stay within control. So let's see what this Mars energy is talking about. In the high frequency, these cards are able to reveal all that needs to be revealed so that Taurus can see clear, especially when they are staying within their authority, right? Standing in a position, standing firm, and paying attention. Don't get so caught up, Taurus, in building that you don't see deception and envy, right? And people with Taurus in their chart, because, you know, as bullheaded as Tauruses are, some can be very sensitive, okay? Not all, some. So let's look at this medium frequency, which is Mars, which talks about the first house. All right. Let's talk about this first house. So this talks about personality, appearance, temperament, and you want to keep this in balance while you master building Taurus and people with dominance in Taurus, right? So here we go with this Tower here, and we have this Six of Wands here, and we have this Fool here. So understand that when you're dealing with this Mars, this Aries energy, right? It can, in the middle frequency, it can be destructive. The concept is that things may tear down in this middle frequency, and it gives room for success and new opportunities, okay? It gives room for success and new opportunities, but one has to see the opportunity and the things that's torn down in order to get into this state of the Sun, the Wheel of the Fortune, and this Chariot here, okay? And this is a lot of major arcanas on the board, so these are things that's really moving in the ethers, and that 22 and 4 is the higher frequencies, and, you know, most people do not break down the master numbers. I do, and if you notice, it's the 4, so Saturn is there. So anyway, let's see what else is going on. There's a lot moving in the ethers, okay? And the Wheel of Fortune is right over success, right? And the Chariot, which also sometimes is a discussion of travel, right? The Fool also can be a traveler. You never know what the Fool is, his journey is on. He's always packed with all his stuff want to go with his friend, right? Making sure he don't fall off the cliff. So even in success, be mindful. Oops. Okay. So here in this lower frequency, when you're talking about changes and regeneration and compassion and you know, the endings of things. Alrighty. So you have the Ace of Swords, which can represent all 3 of the air houses here in the low frequency. So that would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, communication and thought. There's also this giving and sharing and the requirement for balance. You have this Queen of Swords here, which also represents air energy, Libra, water energy. And just to be fair, when you're looking into the sword here for the Queen, that's what, about 20 degrees Virgo, 20 degrees Libra, but it's generally a Libra card. This is coming down in the lower frequency, so certain communications, certain giving may change, certain balances of things that may seem a bit unfair in the lower frequencies for Tauruses that have air in their chart, right? So pay attention to the mentality, expression, and how you communicate, especially when you are doing for people, helping people, right, in this lower frequency, because this could bring upon greed, right? This could bring upon negative thoughts, negative communications, negative not being very let's say conscious of agreements and contracts and things of that nature. But also the Queen of Swords is looking away from this particular over here. So there may be some things that some Taurus who got some dominance in air signs is not paying attention to. And it's very interesting because you have this scale here, right, which is a discussion of balance, okay? This is in low frequency, okay? So let's see what's really going on. Because if there's an offer coming in this low frequency to a Taurus that has a dominance in air, or, you know, is interacting with the air, the Queen of Swords is not taken right now. So let's see, what's that about? Alright, so you got the Three of Wands. So, you know, the thing that's changing here is communication and thought, balancing out things, giving and taking in balance. This Queen of Swords energy, Taurus, if you do have some Libra in your chart, you have some Virgo in your chart, down here is letting you know that the change really with this air energy is that, you know, things are not in balance, things are not being, or were not given in balance. Okay, and it's looking like, you know, the Queen of Swords here, Taurus may have gotten less because of what one may have felt that this particular energy had, even when it came to, even if it comes to Tauruses who are dominant in this. Meanwhile, back at the wrench, the Queen of Swords here is facing this Three of Wands. has plans, looking forward to the future, getting things done. Okay, focusing on her own thoughts or his own thoughts. If you're moving in your feminine principle right now, that's where the focus is: planning and growing and continuing to grow after choices have been made. Right. Meanwhile, coming out of this, and when you got the Queen of Swords and negative energy, understand that the water energy and the air energy gets a little bit mixy. And so understand that thought has a way of controlling the current of water at some times. And therefore, if this Queen of Swords is in a negative energy, she can be very blunt, very rough, and emotions can lack. Literally, okay? Especially when focusing on future projects, plans, and wanting to get things done. Alright? And this can get like this with Taurus energy, especially when they got some dominance in there. When you're discussing this Libra kind of energy, because they fall under the same planet, Venus. So anyway, to get up out of this whole entire low frequency of negative thoughts, negative communications, being dealt with out of balance and unfair, the walking away and not accepting certain things and not wanting to be a part of certain things, not wanting to take certain things or accept certain things from individuals, getting riled up in your energy in this lower vibration, right? And not really being able to focus on this Three of Wands, is that upon that will come drastic changes. And those drastic changes create endings and disconnects. And yeah, it's a warish, aggressive kind of energy when you're dealing with the Mars energy, because Libra has a little fall. Especially if Taurus is in there, they may experience, if they dominate, experience a little bit fall. So things kind of tower down and then renew themselves. The ether's got a kind of way of tearing everything down. And then you, as the person experiencing the teardowns, have to see the good in these teardowns. And that's what brings upon success and new opportunities and bring you up here in this higher frequency of bliss and happiness and fortune and balancing out. And things being revealed to you in these different energies. And when you're in this higher frequency, it's easier to see through a whole lot of deception and envy for some Tauruses that's master building. And this is why it's important to take authority and be stern about what it is that you want to do or what it is that you're not going to do. Okay? It's that simple. So let me throw another card down right here. So Taurus is also, just pay close attention to your Saturn house and your Uranus and Neptune houses here. Make sure you stand in balance. Okay, so we got these threes coming up at the end, right? And so yeah, be mindful of deception and envy when you get into this higher frequency, but it will be revealed to you. Point blank, bottom line, you do not have to worry about it. Yes, there's drastic changes, success will come about. You have these new opportunities and beginnings, right? But you have this dog here, and he's coming from the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups sometimes speaks of nostalgia and dreams and people from the past and memories and thoughts from the past. There may be some things that come about from the past, but if you notice, the Fool still holds the flower there. Why? Because even on his journey, he brings past energies and information that can bring him into a successful situation, right? You got the Two Wands right here letting you know that he's still going to be protected if disaster comes through. So either way, it's either you're going to deal with the success and this Mars, this warish, aggressive kind of energy, see the new beginnings, pay attention to the warning, okay, and understand all of the things that's given to you from the past so that you can learn and grow, right? Or you're gonna, hold on to that, bring it on the journey, still be successful, still have two things blocking you from this particular disaster. But these things, or these crumble down, these tear downs that come through in this Mars energy. But the overall rule here is to get into this higher frequency of the sun, the high frequency of the Wheel of Fortune, the high frequency of the Chariot, and the high frequency of the people that you choose to surround yourself around. And this is why Taurus, this 22 and 4, is telling you, be very mindful and tapped in while you're master building in your reality and your physical reality of deception and envious individuals. Because if not, these Three of Cups will be the envious individuals that you are around, and that's not what you want. You want good friends, good company, good celebration, and people that want to see you do well and be well-fortuned in the future and have control over your whole entire life and want to see you travel and do all the things that you want to do. That's what you want. You do not want deception and envy taking place. Period. You don't want that, and you still want to stand on firmness and business when it comes to dealing with your Capricorn house, and that's fine too. And in this lower vibration, just stay out of negative thinking. Don't give to people that are greedy. You have this Queen of Swords here. This Queen of Swords energy here is focused on totally building and creating, and really is not trying to accept or take anything at this point. So if you are a Taurus dealing with an air sign right now, you may be getting ignored, or the conversation or the interaction may be a little bit rough. It's just that the actions and mindsets of things that this Queen of Swords energy would like to do, is well planned. Okay, it's planned and being pondered on. So don't get offended. Okay, the world is not crumbling. All right. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, everybody have a good day. Later, smooches and deuces.